Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, elders, and bishops of Great Millstone who teach 100% truth. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect. This your brother Ra'aya back with another one from GMS Detroit. And I was scrolling through TikTok and I fell upon this video and I was like, whoa, this guy right here, he spit some truth, you know what I mean? And it's real prominent to Jake, especially the so-called blacks, right? The Judite, you know. So I'm gonna let this video play and then I'm gonna give my commentary on
What
it.
woman really wants from a man is to be saved from herself. Because it was in the garden, now come back to the garden just for a moment. It was in the garden, paradise lost, when this whole process by which man became mortal, which man became unnaturally natural, from which foundation the whole human race sprang, subject to the female influence. That's what's wrong with the world. If you look at America today, you see men are being feminized. The whole system is becoming feminized. That the way evil works is to destroy the influence of the male in the home by seducing him from his original estate and keep him failing and keeping him failing and keeping him a fool, a stupid idiot, a bungling, useless, womanizer, unprincipled, violent, drunken, drug addicted, tyrannical, anything so he's not believable, anything so the kids won't believe him, anything so the kids won't have faith in him, so they'll cling to mama. Whether that mama is a socialist government, see? Mamas could be a socialist government, feminine principle, socialist government, disobey father, reverse the order of heaven on earth. Just to get rid of the father. You want to see the black community? Destroyed. Utterly and completely destroyed. There's hardly any hope for the black community unless the men take charge, unless the men come back into the family and throw the welfare and the ministers out that have got hold of the minds of the women and children and establish them in control. King Kong with bloomers in the home.
Right? All right, y'all. The thing is, though, Esau Edom then created systems to where Jake cannot enter into that home lest his life is filled with chaos and madness, right? But which ultimately destroys the man that's trying to be over that home in the first place, right? And as he was saying in the beginning with Eve, right? Through Eve, we all die, right? Let me see, Salaki, hold on. Here we go. It's Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 and 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin, and through her we all die, right? And the reason why is because, as he said, in the beginning, from us listening to the woman, which is why Adam went off, and when I mean us, I mean Adam representing man, right? From us listening to the woman caused a domino effect of all of the men from him on down. Notice most of the most successful or the most powerful men in history have all failed from a woman, from dealings with a woman. Let's think about King Solomon, right? Solomon was the wisest man in all earth. but yet, and he was Yahweh Shai, if you could receive it. But even him, he fell and succumbed to the woman that he were marrying, and that the concubines, all of the concubines and wives he had, they turned him over to an idolatrous mindset where he was starting to worship other gods, the gods of these heathen nations, right? So our true fall is listening to these women. That's why our apostles and elders tell us you shouldn't stay with a woman, you shouldn't live with her, right? And it makes total sense even in the scriptures and the law how it says that you're not supposed to be around a woman while she's unclean, while she's on her monthly and all that. And that will make it to where you would have to stay in a separate house than her. So it makes sense for you. It makes total sense for us not to be abiding with each other, because them being a weaker vessel, they are subjected to sin, because all sin begin with them, right? And even in the beginning, Eve didn't take any accountability for what she did. She blamed it on the serpent, right? After even knowing that, because she told the serpent exactly what Adam told her, that the Heavenly Father said. Hold on, let's go. Now, this is Genesis chapter 3, right? Because Eve knew better, because Adam gave her the law. Adam told her what she was supposed to do and what she wasn't, right? And it says, Genesis 3 and 1, now the serpent was more subtle than any beast of the field which Yahweh had made. And he said unto the woman, yeah, have Yahweh said, ye shall not eat of every tree of the garden? Because he already knows what was said. He's going to ask her to see if she knows, and he's going to get her to turn away from what she already knows, right? And in verse 2 it says, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat. Now, how does she know that if they should eat from that tree or not? It's because Adam told her. And the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, Yahweh has said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die, right? Now she knows what the Heavenly Father said, she knows what her husband said and all that. And guess what she did? She still decided to do the complete opposite. She still decided to take on those philosophies and that ideology that wicked man that was in that garden, because the serpent is not an actual snake, how Esau Edom likes to portray, because he is that serpent that's in that garden, right? Reincarnated into the so-called white man. That same evil spirit that was in that serpent hopped into Cain, and that same spirit that was in Cain hopped into Esau, right? That I'll kill my brother's spirit, right? That deceptiveness, right? That I am not my brother's keeper type spirit, right? And it says, and look, in verse 6, if we skip down, it says, and when the woman saw that the tree was good for food and that it was pleasant to the eyes. Now, look, women are carnal. It's showing you right here that they're naturally carnal, right? It's showing you that they're naturally carnal, because she did things based on her eyes. She did things based on how it sounded, right? She didn't use her spirit. She didn't use her mind. She used everything carnal about how she felt about it, right? And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and this is not actually speaking about a tree, this is speaking about ideologies and philosophies. It says, and when the woman says that the tree was good for food and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree to be desired to make one wise, right? Because obviously this wasn't no actual fruit. This is clearly, it already tells you what it was. It was wisdom, right? Because this tree will make you wise. It will make you wise in evil. And notice how women are the main ones who keep getting caught up with wicked shit that they keep doing, even when it comes to men. That's why men right now are going their own ways. They're finding out that these women are wicked as hell. And they're like, what are we doing? Why are we giving all our time and energy to these women who, when we doing all of this for them, they don't appreciate it anyway. We get married to them, get on one knee, give them a ring, and they just leaving because they're bored. Just wicked shit. And that's why Ecclesiasticus chapter 25 and 19 is so important that Jake understand this. It says, all wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman. Let the portion of a sinner fall upon her. And they will do the most wicked things. That's why they don't need any power. This is why they don't need any control. Because they will destroy you, your family, their children. They don't even care. And this is not all women, but this is majority of them. So we might as well just say women, right? Now I'm generalizing things, but we know there's exceptions to the rule, but the rule doesn't make you know what I mean? The exception doesn't make the rule, right? Right? And why is these scriptures saying this? It says, stumble not at the beauty of a woman and desire her not for pleasure, right? Why is this saying this? Because her beauty throws you off of what her intentions really are. She has no good because and not to say that she just don't have any type of good, but the women of today's time really don't come with good because they're being taught by other women. And women, as we said, there's no wickedness but the little. All wickedness is but little to the wickedness of a woman, right? And most of these single mothers are wicked women because they are single mothers. Most of them, now the exception, the father might have died, certain things might have happened that caused this and all that, right? But that has nothing to do with the majority of these, especially the so-called black woman. As we've seen in that video, the last part of it, you see this so-called black woman with this smirk on her face. Look at this,
Oh,
right? Got a smirk on her face and everything. The same woman that will break up your household, same woman that has been dealing with the serpent this whole time, the so-called white man, the same man that's been using our women to destroy us, right? The dude he just said it in the video. He was like, the black community, they're being destroyed because of this, because of the women. They said they got to take their family back.
woman really wants from a
Let me
man
go back
to
to it.
reverse the order of heaven on earth. Just to get rid of the father. You want to see the black community destroyed, utterly and completely destroyed. There's hardly any hope for the black community unless the men take charge.
And we can't do that, but we're doing it in this way though. We're taking charge back over ourselves, not even necessarily that household, because we know it's a dead household. There's no reason to do it. These women have failed us, right? Not all of them, but majority of them have. And as our elders say, we can bring back the kingdom without them, right? And this is what we're ultimately doing in verse 26. If she go not as thou wouldest have her, cut her off from thy flesh and give her a bill of divorce and let her go. And this is what we've simply been doing with the so-called black woman, the Judite woman, right? We've been having to let her go, have to cut her off because she's too far gone. We can bring back our nation through the heathen women if it came down to it. But y'all just go out here and check out this video. I'm not sure who this guy's name is. You know what I mean?
But I've been seeing a couple of videos that's been online about him. I'm like, man, he got, some truth to what he's saying. So yeah, y'all just go and check it out. And hopefully this lesson has been edifying. And with that, I'll give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Kakwadash. Shalom, y'all. On to the next one.